The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave. Man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. It always seems impossible until it's done. I am not a saint, unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. Freedom is indivisible. The chains on any one of my people were the chains on all of them. The chains on all of my people were the chains on me. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. There is no passion to be found playing small in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. Let freedom reign. The sun never set on so glorious a human achievement. Money won't create success. The freedom to make it will. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. Overcoming poverty is not a task of charity. It is an act of justice. When people are determined, they can overcome anything. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another and suffer the indignity of being the skunk of the world. Let there be work, bread, water, and salt for all. Death is something inevitable. When a man has done what he considers to be his duty to his people and his country, he can rest in peace. I stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you, the people. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. We must use time wisely and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. A critical, independent, and investigative press is the lifeblood of any democracy. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. Peace is not just the absence of conflict. Peace is the creation of an environment where all can flourish, regardless of race, color, creed, religion, gender, class, caste, or any other social markers of difference. We must strive to be moved by a generosity of spirit that will enable us to outgrow the hatred and conflicts of the past. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. It is in your hands to make a better world for all who live in it. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. We are not yet free. We have merely achieved the freedom to be free. Democracy is not a state in which people act like sheep. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. Courageous people do not fear forgiving for the sake of peace. Our human compassion binds us the one to the other, not in pity or patronizingly, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the future. If there are dreams about a beautiful South Africa, there are also roads that lead to their goal. The time for the healing of the wounds has come. The moment to bridge the chasms that divide us has come. Let us stand together to make of our world a sustainable source for our future as humanity on this planet. We must therefore act together as a united people for national reconciliation, for nation building, for the birth of a new world. History will judge us by the difference we make in the everyday lives of children. Human beings have got the ability to adjust to anything. The purpose of freedom is to create it for others. Your freedom and mine cannot be separated. I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. We know too well that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the Palestinians.